All right, who's your top price guard, Garion, and how much exposure do you think you're going to have to Harden tonight? Come on.
I don't know. I mean, it's a great matchup. Minnesota is, as we've talked about a lot, just a team that does not play a lot of defense. They're high paced. They're on the second night of a back-to-back, which really does not bode well for just their ability to limit the point total of another team. But I think you almost have to use Harden as a decoy in some of these lineups. I think he's going to just be really popular considering the narrative surrounding him tonight. His price point isn't insane, but he's now finding himself stationed next to someone who has had a 42% usage rate since the beginning of January. I just don't know what his role in this offense is going to look like. I think he'll probably have a pretty big game, but you need to have a pretty massive performance to pay off his price tag. So I also think Devin Booker, someone who we talked about a lot yesterday, whose price point has increased by like $400, but he still seems pretty underpriced for what we saw yesterday. He's also going to be super, super popular. So I think this is maybe a night where you use someone like DeJounte Murray, who just might kind of slip through the cracks a little bit. I mean, Murray is averaging 1.54 DraftKings points per minute going back across his last 13 games. Washington, not an ideal matchup. They've been kind of a pace down team lately. They actually have the slowest pace in the Eastern Conference since the beginning of February, but I just think Murray's kind of been a one-man wrecking crew for the Spurs for the better part of 2 months now. And if he's going to go overlooked because so many people are on Booker and so many people are on Harden, I want to take advantage of that.
Okay, you're going to be taking advantage of anything in the guard department tonight, Maddie?
I think I just want to play Devin Booker. There are enough other places that I think you can get contrarian here, and Booker is still well underpriced. We talked about this yesterday where it seemed like he would have more of the point guard burden with Chris Paul out, but we still thought that he would be technically the starting shooting guard with someone like Elfrid Payton or Aaron Holiday starting. The Suns didn't do that. Last night, Devin Booker actually started at point guard with Cameron Johnson playing alongside him, and Booker wound up with double-digit assists. If this is how the Suns are going to play their offense, Booker deserves to be priced in the same tier as guys like Murray and Luka Doncic, James Harden, LeBron James. He's just way underpriced at 9,200. And it's also a really good matchup. New Orleans traded Josh Hart to get CJ McCollum, which helps their offense a ton, but it's a significant downgrade on defense. And really the only good defender that the Pelicans have to throw at Devin Booker is Herbert Jones, but that's kind of out of position for him. I'm sure he spends some of the game there, but the Pelicans are not a good defensive team, really, is the bottom line without Josh Hart. So it's a really good matchup for Booker. The back-to-back would normally be a little concerning, but because the game was a blowout last night, Booker got a few less minutes. He's a little less worn down, I think, than he would be if the game had been close. The Suns ended up winning by 20. So this seems like good chalk. I think Booker is just such a good value compared to the other guys at the top end of the price range.